And then jumping back to salaries, you'll see I have a 33.16% increase in my 611 account. That's the 40-hour account for those guys, and that's for 4 full-time firefighters. The part-time account, 612, it's a 10% increase. That's an increase based on the part-timers got a raise this last year, so there's automatically a 2% increase in that, and then the extra increase to cover the chance of that 4th firefighter taking off and having to fill those back shifts. The overtime account went from $62,000 to $84,000 with a 35% increase. And like I explained before when Chief Dwyer was up here with his budget, that's a sole increase of that, the other firefighter being hired. And on top of that, the full-timers got a 2.25% raise, I believe, over this last year. So all of those numbers are built in there as well of why the increase is, and the longevity has stayed the same.
Questions?
Yeah. The, under services, understand it's 0% except for the training increase, but it's a 55% increase over your actuals for 2018. So you did a great year staying under budget in 2018, but it's still $17,000 more. What am I missing, Anna?
So, last fiscal year, we implemented budget freezes because if you recall, we did not get for the state budget. So the amount of state revenues that we received was actually less than what we put in the budget as proposed. So because of that, we required all departments to freeze a portion of their budget. So in the case of this department, the OSHA testing was deferred to the first of this fiscal year. He was able to do that, and still meet the requirements. So that's why the amount expended last fiscal year are actually lower. So we had to do with, really squeeze the budget last year because of the implemented budget.
But how much was
freeze.
the OSHA deferred? Was it $7,000 roughly?
I didn't bring the numbers from last year, but it was 5% overall across all my accounts. So every account took a hit. I don't remember the exact dollar amounts, but yeah, it was $7,000 right off of OSHA, which, like I said, there was so much stuff that I couldn't push off because it's required by federal law to do. So I made my cuts through everything.
But even a 5% cut doesn't equal a 55% increase over your actuals. I can understand that you took a cut, and it's just, you did a great job staying under your budget in 2018. And if you push some things off, fine, but did you push $17,000 off that you didn't do in 18?
Yeah, because I'm running lean right now because I had to push stuff off into this budget to do and bill pay for.
Okay.
So I was actually 2 months ago, Mr. Nickerson actually said that we might have another freeze to the department heads, and a lot of us got worried because a lot of us had to push stuff off like this. So hopefully that's still not going to happen.
Okay. Thanks.
Other questions? Good points. I think we are good. You have obviously your firefighters and your overtime bumps. Your overtime bumps are more predictable. The $22,000 of increase. It's kind of directly tied into.
Yeah, and like I said, when it comes to Chief Dwyer's budget, he was short to begin with, so that's why
Right.
it looks like a more substantial increase. And like I said, he had one guy out for a long period of time that the part-timers picked up that salary. That's why his part-time salary is a lot more than what it was, and the overtime didn't really run course where it should have.
I get it. Any other questions? Thank you, Chief Ricks. Appreciate you coming in tonight. And thank you for helping out, too. It's been some trying months here, and it's nice to have you all working together. By the way, what's happening out there is between Chris Taylor and the two chiefs of the fire departments. They're all getting together, working on budgets together, working on buying material together, training together, training their crews together. It's a marvelous thing, and some of that comes from the fire study we did a couple of years back, and some of it is just natural leadership that we have on board with people who are just all in it for the right reasons. So we appreciate that.
Motion to adjourn, because that's what.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, we'll be back here tomorrow night at